好的，我们现在开始啊，因为我们今天是线上跟线下是同时进行，我们在现场也有一些家长在我们的现场，我们尽可能的能够把线上线下都照顾到，好吧？所以但是我们可能没有太多的走动，因为我要站在这儿让线上的人能够看到我，然后主要是声音他能够听得比较清楚，如果我跑到你们那边去，可能他们听不见了。所以你们可能会发现，线下的可能会发现我们今天会比较僵硬，就是在一个地方，但是东西是一样的东西。So I got the papers, you guys can turn the pages. 啊，我先问一下，这里面，我们线下你们都能听中文？OK，我们 a little bit. OK, I'll try to be bilingual. I'll try to be bilingual. 因为线上有很多家长，他们可能还是 prefer 听中文。那大家可以看到我们的屏幕哈，我们今天有一个小的新的功能，刚刚 Chris 老师帮我们做的，就是我们在这 slides 下面呢是有汉语的字幕，这个是这个是 AI 做出来的，AI 这是 AI 做出来的汉语的字幕中文的字幕，所以你们看的时候可以看一下字幕。好，那我们今天开始了，今天我们主要是讲数学跟 STEM。然后今天有3位老师跟我一起来做这个讲座了。那基本上主要的内容我等一下会跟大家讲。屏幕上呢大家看到是我 Jonathan，然后 Chris 他们2位呢都是我们 Ontario 的 OCT，就是 Ontario College of Teacher，我们安省的这个注册教师啊。然后我们的 Connie 老师是负责我们的整个的数理化部分的所有的课程，所以后面是他们3位主要是讲跟所有我们的课程，包括竞赛相关的内容。那我先开个头啊，我先开个头，我主要想跟大家讲一下，it doesn't work. Why it didn't work the first time? OK，那这个是我们今年的，就是最新的美国头部大学的LinkedKey 学生的录取的情况啊。所以我们可以看到，我们今年的我们有像哈佛啊、耶鲁、Vanderbilt、USC 等等等等这些学校，我就不读了哈。然后包括这边的这些学校，这个地方我想跟大家分享几个数字啊，因为大家可能对美国的一些头部大学还蛮感兴趣。那这个是2024年，实际上就是去年哈佛大学本科的录取数字。那我们看到 international student 就是国际学生在录取当中所占的比例是15.8%。那坊间有很多人讲说，美国一直都在这个减少国际学生的录取，就是美国一直都美中关系最近这个不是在一个历史最好的一个轨道上，所以在减少国际学生，尤其在减少我们中国学生的录取。但是数字告诉我们这个是不对的。数字告诉我们，如果你从最早的2012年往一路看下来，实际上国际学生的录取比例是在增加的。好吧，我们看这个最上面这一条线啊，这个比例就是美国，这当然是哈佛大学一个学校的数字，其他学校基本上也是差不多是这样的一个 trend，所以我们国际学生并没有减少啊，大家这个地方可以放心。然后国家的分配，当然美国国内大学当然是国内的省份是占最大的比例，所以最多来源最多的是这个 Massachusetts， 就是麻省啊，因为哈佛本身在波士顿，波士顿就是在麻省，所以他们当地的学生254个。 那第二大呢是加州241，然后第三是纽约州。在国际学生部分，所有的国家除了美国之外，录取人数最多的是我们加拿大，有78个。那这个是给我们一个信号，就是说，当然除了美国本土学生之外，我们加拿大学生在这个里面是有先天优势的啊。这个原因有很明显的原因，就是语言相通、文化背景相通、体制相通等等等等地域的相近。那第二个最多的国家呢是英国是42，第三是我们中国24。然后德国跟韩国差不多20、21，然后是印度，这个是大概哈佛大学最近一年的国际生的录取比例是这个样子。然后我想跟大家讲一下美国学校的整个的录取的这种他用的一些录取的指标，或者说是录取的方法。但是今天主题不是我讲这个录取录取我讲过很多很多专题部分的录取。今天我们的主题是讲数学和 STEM 和科学类。但是我们不管是哪一个学科，我们的最终目的实际上都是能够帮到孩子升学。所以在美国大学录取当中呢，基本有两件事情。第一件事情呢叫 academic performance，就是我们所谓的学术成绩。学术成绩这里面又包括最重要的部分，你的在校成绩，就是 school grade 或者叫 GPA。然后呢，还包括你在学校的里面的这种叫 course difficulty，你的选课难度比如说我同样都有数学，那我是选一个普通数学还是选一个 AP？这个是有区别的化学也是一样，物理也是一样。这个对招生官来说，他认为你这个选课难度是不同。第三，就是你在学校里面的相对排名，大概你处在一个什么位置上那这个决定了，就是说，因为加拿大没有一个统一的标准化考试，不像我们中国有高考，所以 A 学校的90分跟 B 学校的90分可能是同样的分数，但是代表了不同的质量。那如果你是一个相对分数，就是我在这个学校里面，我同等资源、同等老师、同样的教室、同样的教学环境的情况下，你考95分，我考90分，那就说明你的学术方面一定强于我，好吧？这个很容易理解那第四就是标化考试 （standardized test），这个里面包括 SAT、AP 或者 IB 所以一会儿我们都会讲到，比如说这些 AP pathway、IB pathway，尤其是针对数学和 STEM 方面。所以大家知道了，这个里面有非常多的，就是刚才我们讲的这种跟学术相关的这些内容。那今年的这个录取，我跟大家报告一下我们观察到的一点点趋势的变化，就是我们发现今年的录取，美国的这些头部大学的招生，对于 academic performance 这一块的权重在加大。换句话说，他们更加看重你的在校成绩。所以，如果你的在校成绩不够强的话，你基本上很大一个程度上你就失去你的竞争优势，好吗？然后第二大部分呢，就是你的所有的跟在校成绩以外的部分，这个包括你的竞赛，包括你的这种club involvement、social services 等等等等，community services 等等这些那我们谈到竞赛，所以一会儿我们会这个Connie 主要是讲竞赛部，所以 Connie 等一下会讲竞赛部。好了，我们现在我想给大家展示几个3个大学，这个大家其实自己可以做这件事情你们在 Google 里面，我跟大家讲这个关键字你怎么用，就是你的关键字你用，比如说你想对哈佛大学感兴趣，你就选 Harvard undergraduate high school course requirement 就可以了如果你对这个普林斯顿大学感兴趣，你就写 Princeton undergraduate high school course requirement。如果你对滑铁卢大学感兴趣，你就写 Waterloo undergraduate school course requirement。 个大学，它的本科对你的高中的选课是有要求的。那我现在给大家看，这是哈佛大学的官网，你看到左上角这是它的官网，来 Harvard edu。那这个里面，我只是把数学部分给画出来了，当然它还有很多，比如说英语尤其是写作的重要性 ，extensive practice in writing， 这是英语部分。数学部分 4 years math， 但是 4 years math 这句话很简单，底下这个大的框框全部是在说明 4 years math， 你需要什么样的 math， 好吗？这个大家可以你们有兴趣你们可以去读啊，现在愿意现在读可以读，然后你们可以自己到 Google 里面去 search， 这个就在 Harvard 的官网上就有包括他说对 calculus 的重要性等等，我就不帮大家读了，时间的关系。下一个，这是宾夕法尼亚大学，这是也是常春藤学校之一哈，Donald Trump 的母校。那这个学校宾夕法尼亚大学跟哈佛有一点不一样，哈佛只有一个本科学院叫 Harvard College， 宾夕法尼亚大学有4个本科学院，分别是 Arts and Science、Engineering、Nursing 和它的 Business School， 就是 Wharton。我随便点开2个，大家看它的 Engineering， 他说 Strong preparation in physics and mathematics, particularly calculus。这是对数学的要求。那我们看它的商学院这是最有名的商学院之一Strong preparation in mathematics, particularly calculus。微积分 calculus 的中文是微积分我们有 calculus， 有没有翻译？没翻译。有翻译它反应的慢一点。calculus 微积分有翻译。OK， 所以大家知道这些大学这些本科学院对我们选课的要求，对数学这门课的重视，和对数学的这种非常具体的这种选课的要求。等一下你们会讲 curriculum 部分，然后 Connie 会讲 context 部分，所以我在跟大家讲一下，2只手都要硬，一只手就是你的课内成绩部分，第2只手就是你的课外部分，课外部分包括竞赛。然后我们最后一个大学，这是滑铁卢大学的计算机专业，这是我们加拿大最热门的专业之一，至少搞不好 the most popular program in Canada。那滑铁卢的计算机专业，它的 required courses 大家可以看 advanced function、calculus vector、英语和其他这个不说了，我们数学部分有2个。然后底下这段话high school diploma equivalent minimum of 6 grade 12 U and M U or M courses including all required courses 所以这个是对数学的要求那我跟大家我今天想跟大家讲的主要就是我来开个头，然后跟大家讲一下大学录取的这种他们的录取的一些评估的方法今天还是那句话，不是我的这个讲升学的专题我只是给大家开一个头，让大家知道大学录取它是怎么做评估的然后我们现在把我们的内容过到我们真正今天晚上要讲的内容今天我们会讲一会儿我们几位老师会做自我介绍一下 you guys will self introduce yourself and we'll talk about the pathways in math, curriculum, AP and IB. We'll talk about the pathway in math. We'll talk about context. And then we'll talk about science. And then we'll be talking about senior science curriculum at LinkedKey and our competitive advantage. Okay? So, without further ado, let me turn the microphone to Jonathan. Jonathan, here you go. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Jonathan. I am the math curriculum teacher here at LinkedKey, which means that if you come to the North York location and you are taking 9, 10, 11, or 12 math, you should see my face. Right now, I'm actually an OCT certified teacher, so I teach for the York Region District School Board. And I recently joined LinkedKey, and it's great here. So if you guys ever have any questions about math, you know my face and you know what to ask me. That's pretty much it. I'm going to pass the torch over to my partner here, Chris, and he can introduce himself.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me here. I'm going to speak in English because my Chinese is also not good enough yet. I am the senior science teacher here at LinkedKey, so I mostly work in chemistry and biology. I'm also an OCT certified teacher, which just means that I work in day schools. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. Oh.
Hi, I'm Cedric. I'm online, so I have the Bachelor of Education degree, and I was a former school mathematics teacher and homeroom teacher in Hong Kong for a few years experiences. And also I am an AMC coach, having many students excelling in the AMC contest. And from this year, starting from the new semester, I will be joining the LinkedKey in teaching the mathematics contest for grade 9 and grade 10, helping students to excel in contests like AMC, Kaylee, Pascal. Thank you.
因为现在We're just going to hold here for just a minute, and then I'll pass it off to Jonathan again to talk about curriculum math.
All right, so what I'm going to talk about today is the pathways and the options that you have when it comes to curriculum courses at LinkedKey or in normal day school. And I'm going to talk about these courses as well as talk about the IB and AP programs that we offer. So what you see here is a map, and this map is what you would take if you were to go to normal high schools. You would take grade 9 math, then you would take grade 10 math, and then you would take grade 11 math. In grade 12, what you see is that you actually split into 3 different maths. So what most people take is grade 12 advanced functions. That's at the very top. And that bridges directly into grade 12 calculus and vectors. Now, you also have the option for a third math, which is grade 12 data management. Now, all of these courses are the courses that you would find in normal day school. And all of these courses are also the courses that we offer here at LinkedKey. Personally, for me, I teach 9, 10, 11, and grade 12 advanced functions. So again, if you were to ever take these and come to the North York location, you can expect to see my face. Now, what we have with our curriculum courses. Now, first, our content is specifically designed to be aligned with the Ontario curriculum. What I mean by that is that both Chris and I are OCT certified teachers, which means that we currently teach in high schools. We have taught the Ontario curriculum before, and we pretty much know it like the back of our hands. So we have personally designed this so that it is aligned with the content in the Ontario curriculum, which means that, point number 2, our focus is for you to build a solid foundation. Our goal is to provide students with an opportunity to take all the knowledge that they learn in math and apply it to higher level concepts. Now, you're probably wondering, who is this for? Well, this is for 2 different types of students. The first type of student this is for is that student who wants to strengthen their foundational skills. If you're a student and you're going through high school and you feel like your foundation's a little shaky, maybe you didn't like this teacher in grade 9 and you feel like you don't understand some concepts, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you build a super solid foundation to set you up for success when you ever take those high-level math courses. Now, the second type of student that this is meant for is the students who want to learn this course ahead of time. We actually have quite a few students here who do this, who want to learn the course ahead of time so that when they go and actually take that course in day school, they've already seen the content before and they already know how to do all of the questions. So if you want that super, super high mark, then this is also a course that's meant for you, especially if you want to catch ahead of time, because we all know that the first time that you see it, this can be confusing, but if you see it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, you're going to get it by the 4th time. So that's our goal. Number one, students who need to strengthen their foundations. And number two, students want to reach ahead. Now, what you see here is the AP pathway. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Is the AP pathway. Now, this diagram is the diagram that you saw before, except we have these pink boxes at the end. These pink boxes are the boxes that illustrate all of your AP options. So if you were to come to LinkedKey, these are the different courses we offer. Right at the top, you see AP Statistics. This one's actually super important, especially with our ever-evolving industries. Understanding statistics and understanding how to manipulate data is super, super important. So when it comes to AP Statistics, that's one of the major courses that we offer. Now, if you look right below it, we see our advanced functions and our calculus. Now, you have some options here. After you take grade 12 advanced functions, you have an option to go the normal route and take grade 12 calculus and vectors. But with access to our AP courses, you also have the option to take pre-AP calculus. Taking pre-AP calculus sets you up for AP calculus. That's what we offer here at LinkedKey. We offer our pre-AP calculus, our AP calculus part 1, and right after that, our AP calculus part 2. So these are 4 boxes are the different AP courses that you have access to if you join us here at LinkedKey. Now, the real question is, how in the world are you going to fit how are you going to fit all of these courses into your high school career? Because these are a lot of math courses. So this is an example of just how this could work. So in grade 10, you will take grade 10 math. In the second semester of grade 10, you have the option to take grade 11 math. Again, trying to reach ahead and catch ahead so that you give yourself more time for these other courses. That means in the grade 10 summer, you also have the option to take grade 12 advanced functions. Now, what it does is it sets you up so that in grade 11 and in grade 12, you can immediately jump into all of your AP courses. So that means in grade 11, you can start with your AP calculus. That also means that in grade 11 spring, you could go onto your second phase of your AP calculus. Now, this is just one example of what a possible high school career path could look like. Everyone's path is going to look different, but if you want to take AP courses, it is a good idea to try to catch ahead and give yourself more time so that you have space and have the ability to take these AP courses. Now, this bridges directly into our second part, which is IB. Now, Okay, so when we look at our IB courses, it does have a very similar structure to your normal day school. You start with your grade 9 math, then you go on to your grade 10 math. Kind of bridging the past 2 ideas together, in grade 10, the second semester, you can also take grade 11. Again, trying to catch your head and give yourself more time. The reason why you have the ability to do this is so that if you want to take IBSL, which is your standard level, in grade 11, either in summer, fall, or winter term, you have the ability to take IB math. Again, this is only possible because you reach ahead and you give yourself more time so that you have space for this IB math. That means in grade 11, you can take IBSL math. That also means that in the later parts of grade 11, in grade 11 spring or even summer terms, you can take the IB math and take that exam. That means by grade 12, you are done with your IB course and you have the possibility of going to our next pathway, which is your IBHL. That is your higher level. Your higher level math is going to be a more intense version of your IB math, but it takes a very similar structure. You still take grade 9 math, you still take grade 10 math, but again, in grade 10, second semester, you can take your grade 11 functions. What that does is it allows you to reach ahead and it gives you more time so that you have the ability to take IBHL math, whether it be in grade 11 fall, grade 11 winter, or grade 11 summer. Again, what that does specifically for this is in grade 11, if you are able to take your IB math, higher level HL, that means that in grade 12 spring, you are able to continue that pathway. And in grade 12, you can finish it by the IB math, HL, that's your higher level, as well as the exam. So All of these are your normal pathways, your AP pathways, and your IB pathways. That's all I pretty much have for you today. I'm going to pass the torch over to Connie. Oh, yeah.
It takes 3 semesters to finish.
Yes.
And also, when you clarify, when you say grade 11 summer, it means the summer after grade 11.
Yes.
Right? Not before.
Yes, that's actually a really good point, and thanks for bringing that up. So just to clarify first with the summer is that the summer term always comes after. If you think about high school, you start high school in grade 9, and you start in grade 9 fall. Then you do grade 9 winter, and then you do grade 9 summer. So the grade 9 summer is the summer in between grade 9 and 10. That is the same idea that applies to grade 10, grade 11, is that if I'm saying grade 11 summer, what I really mean is the summer in between grade 11 and grade 12. So it goes grade 11 fall, grade 11 winter, then grade 11 summer, and then grade 12 fall, grade 12 winter, and so on and so forth. Yeah. These are the courses that LinkedKey offers, because LinkedKey offers IB courses. So these are the courses that you can take. There are some schools that do offer IB. Not every school offers IB. There are some specific schools that do offer IB. But when it comes to what I was saying before, with the grade 9, grade 10, grade 11 math, every high school offers that, as well as us. But when it comes to IB, we offer it, but only a select few schools do offer IB. Yes. Yes, yes. If you are currently in a school with IB, is that the yes? Yes. If you're currently in a school with IB, you can expect a similar flow, especially if you want to come here. You can help get prepared for those level of courses because those IB courses are going to be more rigorous than the normal standard academic courses. And if you want to catch ahead and get prepared and build a strong foundation, those are the type of courses that we offer. And specifically for this, just to build off that point, when it comes to IBHL, that is going to be 3 semesters. So that's why you see those 3 boxes on the bottom. Those are your 3 semesters that it would take to do IBHL. Right. Yes.
The grade 10, train grade 11 function.
Yes.
And then grade 11 summer on the left-hand side.
Mhm.
So what are the differences between the two? In terms of the course content, are they the same?
Between grade 11 functions and IB math?
IB math, grade 11 summer.
Sorry.
The one right on
Oh, the bottom right?
Yeah.
Yes. So the difference between that and that one.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you compare grade 11 functions, in grade 11 functions, you are going to essentially learn about a bunch of different types of functions. Now, if you're ever in high school, you can expect to learn your basic quadratic functions as well as trig functions, exponential functions, maybe log functions, rational functions. You learn a bunch of different types of functions. In IB math, what it does is it takes all those functions and it goes more in depth. You're thinking about the difference between grade 11 functions, different functions. In IB, you're going to go more into depth about these functions. You're going to try to solve more complex problems. And what it'll do is it'll set you up better so that in grade 12, when you are taking IB or any other grade 12 math course, you'll have a better fundamental understanding of all these different functions. Does that kind of answer your question?
Yes, but right, we're talking about 3 semesters, right, for IBHL. So
Yes.
that's 1, 2, 3,
Mhm.
and then the purple box,
Mhm.
right, on the left hand side, on the right hand side.
Mhm.
Are they part of the HL as well, or is it the preparation course?
Sorry, just to clarify, you're talking the purple one.
Yes.
If that would help you prepare for the normal IB courses.
The purple one is not part of the HL. Because HL already got 3 boxes. Right?
Yes.
3 semesters.
Yes.
So is that preparation prerequisite?
It's not so much a prerequisite as if you can do that ahead of time, it will help you prepare. When it comes to IB, when we talk about IBHL, you do have those 3 semesters that you do. And if you decide to take another IB course with LinkedKey or to help you prepare, that will help you so that when you do enter into it, whether it's at an IB school, you'll be even more prepared. Yeah. Yes, yes, something like that. Exactly, exactly. Do we have any other questions? We're all good? All right, so I'm going to pass the torch. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, yes. When it comes to grade 12 IB, when it comes to grade 12 IB, they will be learning calculus. Yes, yes. It's different. It's not exactly the same, but both IB and AP are higher and more complex than your normal academic. So you have your normal academic, you have your AP, you have your IB. They are both more complex and more advanced than your normal stream, but they're just different compared to each other. Yeah, yeah. You'll see differences depending on the program, the school, but in most cases, they will always be more advanced than your normal stream. Yeah. All right. Any final questions? All right. So I'm now going to pass the torch over to Connie, and she will help explain the contest part of our math pathway. Oh. Do I need to?
Hello，大家好，能听到吗？哦，好的，我是康妮老师，我是在 LinkedKey 是数理化的教务老师，接下来我将用中文跟大家交流一下这个北美的中小学生的这个主要的数学竞赛，以及LinkedKey 所能提供的相应的数学竞赛的课程。那接下来的这张表，我们能看到，罗列了北美主要的数学竞赛。基本上我们是有3个系列，一个是滑铁卢系列 （Waterloo 系列），然后呢是 AMC 系列，AMC 呢就是美国的数学竞赛，然后呢就是 CMS，也就是加拿大的数学协会的数学竞赛。那我们首先从这个滑铁卢系列开始讲起。滑铁卢的这个sorry， 上一页，不用，还是在，哎，对，可以的。滑铁卢的数学竞赛呢，最低年级是从 G7、G8的高斯开始的。那高斯数学竞赛呢，一般它是25道选择题，总分呢是150分，60分钟的时间。这个竞赛呢，如果你不答题，空着题是有2分，答错也不扣分。基本上来讲呢，高斯是作为加拿大初中阶段最高级的数学竞赛之一，它的含金量还是比较高的。考察的这个范围呢，基本上就是加拿大各个省的这个大纲的范围之中。高斯呢基本上分为3个部分，Section A 有10道题。基本上呢，每道题5分，它都是送分题，也就是说大纲的范畴之内。Section B 的话呢，也是10道题，每道题呢是6分，它考察的是一些数学基础。那 Section C 的话呢是5道题，每道题呢是8分，这一部分呢是难度偏高的竞赛题型。也就是说，即使没有学过数学竞赛的孩子，也可以做 Part A 和 Part B 的一些竞赛题目。高斯竞赛呢，可以说是这个低龄学生学习数学竞赛的一个敲门砖。我们学校参加高斯数学竞赛，经常有一些5、6年级的孩子来参加，这是检验孩子们小学阶段数学能力的一个测试。有一点需要指出的是，滑铁卢这个高斯的数学竞赛，每年满分的孩子他的名字将会公布在官网上，同时他们还会得到一本滑铁卢出版的数学书。那这对孩子来讲也是一个很好的一个鼓励。那我们学校的这个7、8年级的竞赛班常年是备赛高斯数学竞赛。那接下来第2行的呢，就是滑铁卢的 G9年级的 Pascal、10年级的 Kelly 和11年的 Format，这个数学竞赛。那这个数学竞赛呢，跟高斯一样，也是25道选择题，60分钟的时间。规则也是 不答题空着的话也有2分，答错题呢不扣分。那这3个竞赛呢也是分为3个部分，Section A 10道题，内容也是基本上是覆盖了按各个省的这个教学大纲。Section B 也是10道题，稍微超出教学大纲1点，那考察的也是同学们的这个综合运用能力。Section C 5道题，它属于难度比较高的竞赛题型。考察的呢也是学生们的这个综合判断能力、逻辑思维能力以及分析问题、解决问题的能力。接下来呢是9年级、10年级和11年级的3个 full solution 的数学竞赛，分别是 G9 的 Flare、G10 的 Galios 和 G11的 Hypatia。在9年级开始 full solution 的竞赛就出现了，也就是说这个数学竞赛分为4个大题，每个大题呢又分为2到4个小问题，这每一个题目呢，它的难度是逐渐加深的，也就是说前面问题可以为后面问题提供思路，每一道题目的难度逐步加深。那第1道题最简单，第4道题肯定是最难的，是这样，需要写出答题步骤，也就是说这个题目我会做。但是我需要答题步骤要一一写清楚，会做能做对，并不一定能拿到这个题目的满分，这就是需要长期训练这个 full solution 写这个步骤的一个过程。然后我们学校的9年级、10年级、11年级的竞赛班也长期在备赛这3个数学竞赛。然后呢，接下来呢是这个滑铁卢的 CIMC 和 CSMC，这2个竞赛呢，一个是9、10年级的，像 CIMC，然后 CSMC 呢是针对11、12年级的。这2个数学竞赛呢也是 full solution 的数学竞赛。那我这儿这个红色标出的 CSMC 和接下来要讲的 Euclid 都是滑铁卢非常重要的赛事，而且是在申请大学的时候可以作为一个加分项写在申请表里面的。那简单介绍一下 CSMC 和 CIMC，它呢考试模式呢是9个题目，有6个题目呢只需要写出答案，那有3个题目需要写出完整的解题过程。基本上呢就是需要经过训练才可以答得很好。因为作为 full solution 的这个数学竞赛的话呢，它的分数会根据答题的完整性，另外清晰度和呈现的方式而决定。可能一个正确的解决方案，如果它的呈现不佳，那即使答题正确也不会得到满分。我们这个竞赛班也常年在培养孩子们的这种能力，同时针对于这个 full solution 的考试，我们每年春假的时候有一个这个 March Break 的一个 full solution 的一个培训班，也是针对这个解决孩子们答题技巧的一个问题来进行解决。那接下来红色标出的滑铁卢最重要的一个竞赛，那就是 Euclid 欧几里得。它是作为这个滑铁卢最压轴的一个考试，它会相对更难一些。Euclid 的话呢，它是一共10道题，每道题呢分值是10分，满分是100分。有简答题和这个 full solution 2种形式。Euclid 是没有选择题的。Euclid 每年4月份考试。100分的满分，如果说同学们能够达到85分以上的话，会获得他这个 Honor Roll 的这个奖项。那这个奖项如果在申请大学的时候是非常非常好的一个证明我们的这个数学水平是非常受认可的。下面请校长能把这个 PPT 转到下一页，我要讲一下这个。之所以 Euclid 和 CSMC 受重视，这是我们在滑铁卢的官网上截图下来的。那在这个官网中，这是数学院和这个科学院，就是理学院，对 Euclid 和 CSMC 这2个竞赛的一个要求。这 这儿写到了 We strongly encourage you to participate in Euclid Mathematics Contest and CSMC Contest。也就是说，滑铁卢这2个学院是非常重视这个的，并且在底下也讲到了，对于申请奖学金来讲的话，是一定需要这2个数学竞赛的成绩的。所以说，这是他们的一个重视程度。那可能有一些不用，还是在刚才就可以。有一些家长可能不了解，因为就是说，我对数学院或者是对理学院，我孩子不想学数学，或者是不想学 science。那我们简单的说一下，就是数学院包括哪些专业？可能有一些热门的专业大家并不了解，它是归属数学院。因为滑铁卢大学的数学学院呢是北美唯一的一所数学学院。它提供非常多的这个本科专业，涵盖了数学、商业与会计，还有现在非常火爆的 computer science。那比如说数学方向的话，它不一定只是精算数学，它还有应用数学、生物统计学、数学科学、数学经济学、数学金融、数学优化等等，包括统计学。那在商业与会计分析方面的话，包括了工商管理和数学的双学位。包括这个现在很火的 CPA，就是数学与特许专业会计，包括金融与这个数学风险管理都属于数学系。那同时还有火爆的就是 Computer Science，这个也属于这个数学学院。那这个 Faculty of Science 的话，理学院呢其实提供很多像物理、化学、科学，包括以商科、会计和航空等交叉科学相融合的一些专业，所以说它不单纯的是这个数学院。那接下来请校长，这样我简单说一下 LinkedKey，在 Euclid 这一课提供给大家的课程。那我们学校的这个 Euclid 的课程呢，每年暑假开始，它分为3个部分，也就是说，暑假是 Part A，然后呢，秋季学期是 Part Two，然后呢，这个春季学期是 Part Three。很多学生他这个参加多次的 Euclid 考试。比如说我11年级的时候考一次，12年级的考一次，然后我挑分数高的一次成绩提交给申请大学的时候用。所以说 LinkedKey 呢，每年连续的2年的 Euclid 的这个课程里面的例题、习题都不同。我们是建议孩子可以学习2年，这样会有效的提高他的在校分数。校长，请回到上一页，这是滑铁卢系列的这个竞赛，再回到上一页。对，讲完了这个加拿大滑铁卢系列，那接下来就是 AMC 系列。AMC 呢，就是美国的这个数学竞赛。那这个 AMC 是美国的数学协会 MAA 主办的，也是美国用来选拔国际数学奥林匹克竞赛的这个国家队成员的一个赛事。那AMC 的话呢，它的含金量非常高，在全球的这个认可度也是非常高的。不仅可以申请这个私校或者是申请大学，都是有非常重要的作用。AMC 呢分为 AMC8、AMC10和AMC12，分别对应的就是8年级以下、10年级以下和12年级以下的这个学生来参加。那我们首先来讲 AMC8 呢是25道选择题，一共呢是25分，也就是说一个题1分儿。AMC 也是不答题不得分，就是你空着的话是不得分。然后我们今年的 AMC8的这个数学竞赛，我们学校有一个孩子是得了满分，然后好几个孩子是接近满分。然后之前呢，AMC8的 honor roll 一般是在18分左右。不知道今年会不会水涨船高哈？因为我们每年的 AMC 系列都是100人参加考试。那接下来呢就是 AMC10和AMC12。AMC10和12是这样的，它也是25道选择题，150分，然后75分钟的时间。这时候如果你不答这个题目，空着的话，你可以得到1.5分，也就是说避免孩子们去猜答案。 这是它的一个评分规则。那 AMC 10和12的话呢，它是分为AB 卷，它这个考试是跟其他考试不同。那 AB 卷呢是这个考点难度相同，但题目不同、时间不同的2个考试。就专门为一些孩子可能这个时间不合适，那提供2个时间供选择。这个 AB 卷的考试相差1周，这2个考试呢，大家都可以报名，就是说 A 卷、B 卷我都考。除了考试时间不同之外呢，A、B 卷在这个难度上可能是略有一些差别。一般来讲，A 卷可能偏代数，B 卷呢偏几何，所以说它相应的这个 cut off 的这个分数线也会有一定的浮动。我们一般建议，如果孩子们这个时间允许，2次都要参加，然后这样提高过线的几率。一般 day school 也会举办1场，那另外1场呢，可能就可以在机构，比如说我们学校是 AMC 官方的考点来参加，那官方他也会选择2场考试中成绩好的那1场作为晋级的这个标准。那 AMC 的这个今年就是每年。AMC 10它的前2.5%，AMC 12的前5%可以晋级得到 Amy，也就是后面 Amy 呢就是 AMC 邀请赛。能够成功晋级 Amy 其实就是一个很大的一个荣耀，他会获得 MAA 发的这个 Amy Qualified 的一个证书。那这个证书在申请大学藤校的时候也是一个很好的这个加分项。那我们每年 AMC 8、AMC 10和 AMC 12呢都是100人大考，一般这个报名截止前1个月，我们学校100人就报满了，所以说大家也可以随时关注这个报名。顺便说一下，我们学校今年呢是有37人次成功晋级 Amy 邀请赛，所以说，现在介绍一下我们这个LinkedKey这个 AMC 竞赛班。AMC 的这个竞赛班呢，我们是分为4个 level，分别是 AMC 10、AMC 10 Advance、AMC 12和 AMC 12 Advance（括弧它也是这个 Amy 班）。这个班的老师呢，胡老师呢，一共总结出了100个 topics。校长，麻烦您往下翻2页，再翻，哎，再翻，哎，好，这个是 AMC 10的这个 topics，大概每年学25个 topics。每个专题胡老师的这个解题风格呢，都是先讲这个概念，概念讲完了以后呢，举一反三，找出这个 topic 历年的考题来逐一讲解，务必让大家理解吃透。然后往下翻的话呢，还可以看到 AMC 10 Advanced 班，然后 AMC 12班，然后还有 AMC 12 Advanced 班，这些一共是100个 topic。也就是涵盖了从 AMC 10、AMC 12一直到 Amy 考试中所有的 topics。顺便说一下，这个胡老师呢，是我们 AMC 班的老师，他是这个核物理专家。胡老师呢是专门之前给我们做过关于 AMC 数学竞赛的专题讲座，因为他也是在 LinkedKey 带出太多的牛娃，去年的COMC、CSMC 的满分的学生，以及成功晋级 USAMO、USAGMO 的学生，都是从7、8年级一路跟着胡老师学习下来的。这是这个 AMC，那 AMC 晋级到 Amy 的话，我简单介绍一下，Amy 呢一共是15道填空题，一个题1分，3个小时的时间。Amy 的话，那个不答题是不得分的。然后如果 Amy 考得好，成功晋级了 USAMO，也就是说，再往上就是 IMO，代表美国参加这个奥林匹克数学竞赛，是这样的。讲完了 AMC，那接下来我讲的就是 CMS，也就是加拿大数学协会的这个数学考试，也是数学竞赛。那加拿大数学协会的考试呢，它分为简单的，像5到8年级可以参加的 CGMC， CGMC 呢就15个选择题，一共总分80分。然后呢，高年级从7到11年级，CLMC 也是15个选择题，80分。这两个竞赛呢，相对简单。然后呢，这两个竞赛，考完了以后呢，有一个晋级赛，其实就等于是低年级参加这两个，然后再高一点的水平参加 COMC。可能大家对 COMC 都不陌生。COMC 呢是加拿大最具影响力的一个数学竞赛，也叫这个加拿大数学公开赛。那加拿大每年都有上万名孩子参加这个数学竞赛，它也是加拿大奥数国家队首轮的这个选拔赛。COMC 每年考试的前50名，直接进入邀请制第2轮的这个进入 CMO 的这个考试。CMO 的话呢，角逐这个国家训练营的一个席位，这也是非常权威的这个孩子数学能力的一个证明。COMC 的话呢，它是也是 full solution 的数学竞赛，要写解题过程，它一共是12个题，2个半小时，然后80分。COMC 的话呢，有4道简答题，然后呢16分，然后4道挑战题，每个题呢6分，然后呢还有4道简答题，每个题10分，这样加起来呢一共是80分。只要写出了这个答题步骤，就会有相应的分数。也就是说，这个题我有可能结果做的不一定对，但是我中间的答题步骤写对了，我也可以得到相应的分数。但是顺便说一句，这个COMC 考试中是不允许使用计算器的。这基本上是，然后 COMC 考得好，那就晋级到 CMO，和美国队的这个 USAMO 是同样一个 level，然后他们一起在这个去争夺这个 IMO，就是国际数学竞赛的这个考试，基本上是这样。然后校长，麻烦您往下走一下，再往下。这张表，上面，哎，好，这张图，主要列出了北美的数学竞赛的一个 timetable。大家可以看到，从低年级的 Mathematica，然后到滑铁卢 Math League，Caribou Kangaroo，包括到最后的 Amy，基本上在加拿大每一年都有各种数学竞赛。也就是说，我们如果想让孩子得到充分的训练的话，这些竞赛大家都可以参加，因为它的竞赛类型有可能是 multiple choice，有可能是 full solution，都不一样，然后针对的年级也不一样。那 LinkedKey 呢，基本上能够举办除 Euclid 和 CSMC 以外的这个剩下所有的数学竞赛都可以的，因为那2个竞赛关系到升学，所以说只有 Day School 可以举办。那我们竞赛班的老师也会提醒大家，比如说接下来我们可以报名比如说可以报名滑铁卢的数学竞赛了，大家可以登录官网报名。竞赛班的老师会提醒大家。另外一个就是校长麻烦您翻译下一页。对，我简单介绍一下 LinkedKey 的这个数学竞赛课程的设置。对，这儿。基本上数学竞赛课程呢，我们分1年3个学期，暑假是第1个学期，7、8月，您选1个月的时间为孩子上这个数学竞赛就可以。7、8月的课程是一样的，比如说常规的竞赛班，6次课，7月上、8月上都可以。然后呢，秋季学期呢一般是16次课。然后每周1次课，每次课呢大概是1个半小时或者是2个小时。课后呢，我们会留作业。in person 的这个班呢，下次上课的时候，孩子带作业来，老师现场批改。online 的班呢，可以在网上提交啊，我们有 TA 可以为大家批改作业。秋季学期和春季学期呢，都是16个课时。然后这里要单独说一下的是这个 Euclid 这个课。暑假也是6次课，然后秋季呢是16次课，但是在春季8次课，为什么呢？因为 Euclid 每年是4月份考试， 4月份考完了以后呢，我们就不再给孩子上这门课了。有些孩子可能不一定需要了，特别是像12年级的孩子，已经这个完成任务了，那可能需要第2年再接着学的话呢，暑假咱们再回来接着学。同时呢，这个 AMC 的话呢，AMC 10 Advanced 这个班呢，因为要备赛当年的 AMC 10的考试，所以说它暑假别的竞赛班都是6次课，那 AMC 10 Advanced 这个班呢是12次课，然后剩下的呢，秋季学期和春季学期都是各16次课，能够完成我们胡老师的这个教学任务。基本上我们 LinkedKey 的这个竞赛课程的设置就是这样的。我再想说一点，就是让孩子们学习竞赛课程的一个好处。其实学习竞赛课程能够帮助孩子们发现并培养对数学的一个兴趣和这个热爱，然后呢，能够提高孩子们的逻辑思维能力、数学的这个知识体系。同时还能这个帮助孩子们申请大学也好，申请私校也好，还可以这个申请大学的奖学金。其实我们是希望更多的孩子能够参与进来。我们的数学竞赛有普通班和这个加强班。如果对孩子的能力不太清楚的话，我们先可以从普通班开始。如果对于数学非常爱好，或者是一直比较擅长数学的话，可以加入这个Advanced 班，数学加强班，然后跟着老师一步一步、一个脚印的来学习数学竞赛知识。我们也希望就是孩子通过数学的学习，能够建立他们的自信心，能够树立他们更好的一个心理。我今天的分享就到这里了，谢谢大家。
Right. Hi, everybody. So I'll be leading you all through the last section of the presentation. Hopefully the subtitles continue to work. Okay, so I wanted to take some time today to look at science as well. I think one important thing I want to highlight that Connie and Jonathan both highlighted was how important it is to have all of these courses in preparation. So we know that when you go to university, when you apply to university, you have 2 different things you need to think about. And that's your curriculum courses, that's in school, during school, that's throughout the entire semester, 2 semesters a year. And you also have contest courses. And again, contest courses are a part of what we would call extracurricular, which means you must complete some in order to be considered for many of the programs. I'll give you all an example right now before I get further in. My brother's actually in grade 12. He's a grade 12 student, and he's looking to go into UFT aerospace engineering. He's also considering Waterloo mechanical engineering, which we've all talked about. And so right now he must complete advanced functions. He must complete English. He must complete calculus. He must have physics, and he also must have chemistry. So the subject he's applying in has nothing to do with chemistry, but he still must maintain this as a credit. He also needs to have multiple math competitions, and something we won't talk about too much today, he also needs other extracurriculars. So activities and clubs and organizations that your children need to participate in, whether it's a club at school for engineering or it's an event that they can lead, all of these different factors are very, very important for how well your student is going or your children is going to do when you get to admission season. So again, I'd like to start by looking at what the schools actually offer. Again, I want to clarify this because it's important that you have these conversations with your children, what they should take and what they should do. And science is often a point of confusion. So I'm not going to spend too much time, but I do want everybody to look at one section. If I can bring up my laser pointer. Let's see if I can get it out. Right here, if everyone can see. SNC1W is a new change from 2 years ago by the government. All students enter this same course now. So the course is often quick-paced, and they need to be able to keep up. As they move forwards, all students do 2 years of science. That is mandatory. And so at LinkedKey, we also offer these 2 courses as preparation or as help. My recommendation is take these 2 courses in grade 9 and 10 early. In grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, start doing these courses very, very early. As you move into grade 11, you see science splits into 3 disciplines, and that's SCH, 化学, it's chemistry. SBI is 生物学, it's our biology, and SPH is physics, 物理学. And so all of these 3 courses have grade 11 and grade 12 versions. And the difficulty ramps up very, very quickly. So both Jonathan and I have taught in schools for a couple of years now, and we've seen the progress as students go through these courses. And very often we will notice that students begin to fail when we get to the grade 12 year. They come into grade 11 and 12 thinking it's nice, it's easy, they've seen it all before, and they haven't. Because one thing that is in science that we don't have in math is that every unit is very different from all the other units. So just because you do well in grade 10 does not mean you will do well in grade 11 or 12. And that's why, again, we recommend that we all sign up for these courses, because these courses help you prepare for what is to come. And so this is something that's also different with science compared to math, is day school science tends to be very challenging if you are not well prepared. So even if you don't sign up for your courses, I think one lesson that I want all of us to take away tonight is that you need to be prepared for all of these courses, for science and for math as well. You need to know what is coming. So moving forwards, I also want, sorry, go on, please. Mm-hmm. Yes. So these strands are different enough in grade 7 and 8 that often they can come into grade 9 and do it right away. There is not too much information that they need from grade 7 or 8 to be able to do grade 9. Now, I can also say as a teacher, I often start every course with the idea that I need to make sure all of my students are able to understand from lesson 1 onwards. So at LinkedKey, we try to make sure that our teachers take 1 or 2 lessons at the beginning to assess your students, to understand who they are, what they're strong at, what they need help in. And so that way, as we move forwards, we can encourage your students to do better and better and better. Now, I've taught grade 9 multiple times, and I know every time I start from the very start, I don't expect any of my students to know anything from before, but what I do expect is a strong work ethic, that they're able to keep up with all of the lessons, and that way they're able to quickly progress as we ramp up in difficulty. Here. So I also did want to spend some time talking about these specialized programs. Now, both Connie and Jonathan have already discussed these, so I will keep it short. IB, International Baccalaureate, is actually a 4-year program in Canada. Now, in the GTA, I believe Jonathan and I are both from the north, from YRDSB. So we know that our local schools, Bayview Secondary School and, oh, I forgot the name of the other one, St. Robert's Catholic Secondary School, both offer IB. Now, IB is international. So if your child is looking to go abroad to Europe, back to China, anywhere else in the US, you want to be doing IB. Now, IB is grade 9 admission, so they need to write a grade 8 test. I actually wrote that IB test when I was in grade 8 for Bayview Secondary. And they test in English, they test in math, and they test in French as well. So IB has a very strong emphasis on 6 different subject areas. Now, for my presentation, I will be focusing on science, but it's important to remember that they encompass a wide range of subjects. Advanced placement is a different program that is mostly meant for American high schools. So, colleges. So if you would like your child to attend schools, as Henry mentioned, like Harvard, Princeton, Penn State, anything in the US, they very much value advanced placement. That's their program. So in Canadian schools, advanced placement is not a specialized 4-year program. It's actually only 2 years. It's in grade 11 and grade 12. So if you remember when Jonathan was discussing courses you can take in high school, all of our AP courses are offered at a grade 11 or grade 12 level. And the reason is because advanced placement is only offered in grade 11 or grade 12. So if your child is currently in grade 9 or 10, encourage them to go to school and ask, do they have advanced placement opportunities? Do they have advanced placement exams? I will be discussing more in-depth advanced placement for chemistry and a little bit for physics. And then finally, if any of your children are below the age of 14, below grade 9, there is a specialized program called Talented Offerings for Programs in the Sciences. It's at Mark Garneau. It's a STEM-focused program, so especially for math and sciences. So that's kind of what the board offers, is what we would say, what the system or what the government offers. Now at LinkedKey, we support the curriculum in two ways. We want to make sure that the students are excelling in school itself, and we also want to make sure that our students are excelling in related competitions. Now, what you see on the screen right here is what I personally will teach. I teach at both North York and Mississauga. As you can see, physics is the one subject that's not on the list. And so we have other teachers who can teach physics. Unfortunately, they weren't able to come out tonight. But I will speak a little bit about the subject. I also want to highlight that at LinkedKey, we also offer independent classes. So this is very often a case where if you feel that your student is doing much, much better than everyone else, or if you feel that your student will be pushed way farther ahead, will do much better, you may want to consider independent classes because we are able to better target who your student is. We will work with them one-to-one instead of in a big class. And that may be of benefit if you feel that your child prefers that environment. Now, I will cover a little bit about what our courses include. So I want to show everyone here, 3U is our Ontario coding for grade 11. 4U is our coding for grade 12. These topics are actually the same topics that your children will learn in school. In fact, I have taught, not this one, on the next slide, chemistry, grade 11. I've seen that subject many, many times. And so these are also the same subjects that we at LinkedKey will match. So here is all for biology. As you can see, just based on looking at the names, they're very different, right? So this is what I was referring to. Chemistry and biology and physics can be very difficult because the subjects change from grade 11 to grade 12. So just because you know these topics does not mean you will always do well in grade 12. And that's why we always say you need to be prepared, especially for the sciences. It can be difficult to keep up as the grades go higher. Similar slide right here. In chemistry, we have a different set of units. We have a different idea that we focus on. When I teach chemistry, I often like to integrate or combine math and science. I think it's really important that the students know how to use the math that they learn in curriculum, but also in other related disciplines like chemistry and physics. As you can see, the units change very, very quickly. These are all curriculum, which means that we teach these in school, and LinkedKey offers these courses as preparation for school. We want to make sure that if you take these classes, or if your children take these classes, they will be hitting 98, 99 in their class. That is the end goal, is that they take these classes a year early, and they go into grade 12 knowing everything already. It's exactly like what Jonathan said. Seeing something for the first time is difficult, and you will often make mistakes the very first time you approach a subject. So we encourage, if your child wants to do well in grade 12 chemistry, they need to take this course in grade 11. They need to take it in the summer between grade 11 and grade 12. And through that method, they'll be able to go into grade 12 already knowing everything they need to know. They can focus on the more important aspects in class, and they can focus on doing well on assessment. Now, I haven't mentioned too much about IB and AP, and this is why. At LinkedKey, we actually conduct chemistry and biology a little bit differently. We don't offer separate AP, IB, and curriculum courses. Instead, we provide IB and AP programming to all classes. So if you enroll at a LinkedKey grade 11 chemistry class, one of my classes, I will not just be teaching grade 11 chemistry. I will also be teaching AP Chemistry Prep and IB Standard Level Prep. So all of our courses are combined. If your child feels like they need the push, they can join the class. They will get the same support in math that they do in science. If they feel that they just need to learn regular content just for day school, then they can go through the general curriculum, the general classes, and they will have all the information they need. I will give you all an example. In the curriculum, it is said that students need to learn something called electron configurations. This is a baseline idea. So in grade 12, I would teach this during day school, electron configuration. At an IB standard level school, they will learn electron configurations, and they will also learn valence bond theory, so one level higher. And finally, during IB high level or AP classes, they will learn everything from before, electron configurations, valence bond theory, but they will also take it another step further and they will learn molecular orbital theory. So you can see how as you go from curriculum to IB to high-level AP, you add more and more and more content. At LinkedKey, we teach at this level. We always teach at the IB, HL, or AP level. Oh, so this is for grade 12, yes. Yes, so if you take a grade 11 curriculum course, we teach at this level right here. We do this for all students, for here in Mississauga. So if you feel that your child wants to be pushed ahead, we can do that. We teach all of that information. If your child just wants to do well in school, that's it. That's okay too. You can join the class and I will let the students know when they begin to push harder and when they need to scale back. And so that's a related idea, is that we offer enrichment to all students. And that way they don't need to decide whether they want to do this or that. They don't have to make a choice. They will get the highest level of programming that they can get. So furthermore, we also have the physics and chemistry AP courses pathway, if it would just go back. So at the top in blue, you see physics courses. So for LinkedKey, and again, I don't personally teach the physics, but I will explain it. Physics grade 11, right here, is mixed with AP Physics Part 1. So again, the physics curriculum, just like chemistry and just like biology, is combined. We teach the curriculum with IB, with AP. We make sure that your students are getting the highest level of education at LinkedKey. Moving forwards, we see that we enter AP Physics Level 2 and then AP Physics, the final stage. This final stage also requires AP Calculus, and that's something that we push for the students to have. Below in pink, we have yeah, yes, 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 yeah. So as you can see, we do encourage that students who take AP Physics C have a very strong base in calculus before they move on. Otherwise, the course is very difficult. Below, we have chemistry in pink. It's very straightforward. So you just go from chemistry grade 11 to chemistry grade 12, AP Chem Part 1, and then AP Chem Part 2. This is AP only. We also have IB programming that extends backwards to grade 11 as well. Any questions I can answer about this slide or any of the programming so far? Everyone's okay? Okay. If you are online, joining us online, thank you again. I can see the chat, so if you have questions, you can leave them there as well. Okay, finally, I would like to highlight our independent classes. So again, this is scheduled through LinkedKey on a class-by-class basis, but I would like to highlight again, if you are looking for a one-to-one environment, so your child and one instructor, this is a very good option. Now, I personally recommend this option for many students because many students, what I will find is that they have very particular requirements or needs. So your child may be very strong in certain units and they need help in other units. And so it's important that you get that flexibility. This is a good option if you want targeted support. It's a good option if you prefer one-on-one environments, 一对一, and if you require flexibility. So I understand everyone has busy schedules and it can be difficult to meet a regular time. And so fortunately, if you schedule independent classes, that can be negotiated week by week. So moving forwards, we would like to highlight, now the important question that I'm sure all of you have is, why choose LinkedKey? There are plenty of math schools even just in this area. And so the question is always, why do I recommend that all of you sign up with LinkedKey specifically? So we actually have a philosophy that puts your success and your children's success at the top. We call it ACE. So we understand that at school, we assess using a method called KICA, knowledge, inquiry, communication, application. Every single one of your children's teachers will be using KICA to assess them during the year. I've done it myself lots of times. And the important part is that your child is not being tested on just knowledge, but also how they apply the knowledge, how they communicate the knowledge, how they extend the knowledge forwards. And so we follow a very similar philosophy, and we want to make sure that your child is well-rounded. They can do everything that that they may be asked for in school and during competition. So our 3 sections of ACE, first, we make sure that our students are attaining knowledge. So we cover all of the curriculum, we cover all of the information, we make sure that we repeat the information in regular intervals. When I teach chemistry, I often teach a concept, and I will teach it again when I move on to the new subject. And so that way they are constantly getting that repetition to make sure they remember. We assign homework on a regular basis for both math and science. We make sure that your students or your children are consistently practicing these skills. We know that practice makes perfect, and that is very important. Under communication, we make sure that we assign regular quizzes. We question the students in class. We make sure that they have chances to communicate. So the number 1 skill that I will say your students need to get into university is communication. I can talk about my brother again. He just completed his Western virtual interview for engineering. I'm sure some of you already know about this, but some universities now ask your child to film themselves speaking an answer. And so this is a very important skill. Henry, we run a lot of DECA classes here and public speaking classes that will improve that skill. We also work on these skills in math and science. We make sure that your students are able to practice communicating what they know. And then finally, we extend the knowledge further. So as I've already said, we build in all of AP, all of IB, we extend further, and we make sure that your students get more than what they would need to get at school. We give them challenging opportunities, as Connie mentioned, through competition classes and competition courses to make sure that they can push to the highest level that they can achieve. I'm going to pass it off to Jonathan last, just to talk about our individualized education.
Yes. So this is kind of where we're going to wrap up today. And this is the primary advantage when we talk about individualized education. Now, there's 3 main things that I want to talk about. Number 1 is educational guidance. So that means that you get specific guidance from OCT certified teachers like Chris and I. We both teach inside of a school. We both know how the education system works. So we are able to properly guide your student through their educational career. This means homework, test, and exam support. So if your child is going through high school, they need help with homework, tests, or exams, we are right there in the schools with them, and we know exactly what they're going through, and we know exactly how to help them. Now, the second thing is small class sizes. Now, here at LinkedKey, we always have smaller class sizes, especially if you compare to your normal day school. Normal day school, we're talking 25 to 30 students a class. Here at LinkedKey, we're talking much, much smaller. For me personally, for my math classes, we're only talking about a small handful of students. What that means is, number 1, the teacher is able to give more of their attention. That means quick and responsive pieces of feedback. If there are less students, that means I can devote more of my time to each student, which means that your student is a lot more likely to excel. Now, the second one is our living classroom model. That means that with a smaller classroom size, the teacher is able to easily adapt their instruction depending on the students. If there are less students in the class, that means that if different students have different needs, I can more easily adapt to their needs. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is personalized support. Now, here at LinkedKey, I make sure, and Chris and every other teacher make sure that we develop a very close knowledge-based connection with the student. It is not just a student-teacher connection. Our job is to understand where your child has their strengths, their weaknesses, and where we see opportunities for them to grow. That means we can develop individualized action plans, an action plan that is specifically tailored to every single student to help them succeed and grow throughout high school. That also means as they go throughout the semester, or even as they go out throughout high school, we are able to track their progress and constantly give updated pieces of feedback so that your child and your student can constantly grow as they go throughout any of our math, science, or contest courses. So that's pretty much all that we have for you today. Thank you all for attending. If you have any questions, now is a great time to throw it in the chat, and we can help to answer them.
Yeah, so we have a question here. Can you talk about the biology AP pathway?
That's the very top.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I will get to that question in just one second.
Yeah.
Here. Does SL and IB start from grade 11? In your chart, IBSL is in grade 11 summer, but SL already starts in grade 11. So yes, in most schools, IB is a 4-year program that they get in from grade 9. However, the principle of the International Baccalaureate, the IB, really begins to increase around grade 11 and grade 12. So if I'm going to quickly go back to that slide, we can see here in IB, there we go. In IB, most of the students in Ontario will go through something called a diploma program, a DP. And that is only starting from age 16. And so again, this is grade 11 or grade 12. Now, the majority of the work is doing the different 6 subject areas. So that's 6 different areas that they need to specialize in. And of these 6, the students also need to pick 1 or 2 high-level subjects. There is also what is called the DP core, which is theory of knowledge, extended essay, and creativity, activity, and service. So students need to complete these 3 components all in their grade 12 year. Now, IB technically does begin in the grade 11 year, but IBSL in grade 11 summer is purposefully to make sure that your student is prepared walking into grade 12, as even though the program does begin in grade 11, much of the content, much of the testing, much of the assessment, the grading, the work is all in grade 12. And so the summer course is a nice preparation, a preparatory course, to make sure that they are well prepared as they walk into the grade 12 year. Of course, your child is free to take the course as early as they need, but this is our professional recommendation, is that they try to keep the courses consistent and slightly earlier than school, and so they're more able to do well in school when that subject comes along. Henry, if you don't mind coming up here, there's a question that sure, unfortunately I cannot read.
Chinese?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's why I'm needed. I feel needed. Okay, that's good. Well, this is a praising us.
Oh,
So
okay.
they say, "Oh,
Okay.
this is very clear. Thank you so much." Yeah, basically, that's the message. The next one you can take.
Yeah. The AMC 10, I do believe that is a competition. So, Connie, if you don't mind, we have a question in chat asking, how does the AMC 10
I
work?
already say this.我们的 AMC 10的课程，是这样的，参加这个课程的话，需要已经完成了 Grade 10的 curriculum，也就是说10年级的大纲要已经学完了。然后呢，如果说孩子之前有学过竞赛，有一定的竞赛基础的话，是可以加入这个班。但是如果说之前没有竞赛的这种训练，并且没有完成10年级大纲的话，是很难直接加入到这个班。如果不确定的话，我们有这个入学的测试，可以联系我们的小助手老师，给您发一份测试题。我们老师会根据孩子的测试情况给您一个有针对性的建议。不知道您是不是问的是这个 AMC 10这个班的情况
？All right. Let's see. Can we talk about the biology AP pathway? So the biology AP pathway actually isn't too, we didn't highlight it here. That is a good point. Here we only highlight physics and chemistry. Now the reason is because physics and chemistry why does it keep doing that? Are the most popular in school. Biology isn't often explored. The biology pathway actually just follows chemistry. It is the exact same. So you take biology grade 11, you enter biology grade 12 and or AP biology part 1, and then AP biology part 2 as well. It is the exact same pathway as chemistry. Only physics is a little bit bigger because physics also is closer to math. And so you require more preparation from calculus and from advanced functions before you prepare for physics. For biology and chemistry, they're very, very straightforward. Go ahead, please. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So my recommendation, and this is actually one of the other questions as well about contact information from chat, my recommendation is firstly to go through LinkedKey. We will leave our contact information both on the whiteboard below and in chat so everybody can have it. But my recommendation is to make sure you chat with LinkedKey first. We have a system that centralizes all the information, and that way you can also manage bookings much easier. Later down. Yeah. So contact LinkedKey. In the future, if the tutoring is long-term, LinkedKey may or may not, or just have us organize it on our own. But for the moment, I would recommend go to LinkedKey because they also have information about other courses, about timelines, about structure, and much more. I have another question. Which grade should my child study science at LinkedKey? So all of our offerings start with grade 9 science. Now, I don't teach the 9 and 10. I believe another teacher does. Yes. So I would recommend if your child is very strong at science in school. Okay. Yeah. So if they are already good at science from grade 6 or 7, you can consider grade 9. If they're just getting started, if they're just they want to move ahead, they can start around grade 7 or grade 8. Both are great. I also have students who start grade 9 science with me when they're already in grade. And so sometimes that's just to make sure that I cover the content the same time their teacher covers the content, so they can constantly keep up. Again, my recommendation is grade 7 or 8. You would get started with that.
Yeah. Just something real quick. Because I personally, I've been working on the application, college admission consulting for quite some time. My recommendation is always try to get ahead of your year. So we call reach ahead, right? So if we are talking about grade 9 science, like Chris mentioned, grade 7, grade 8, they can join our program so that they can get at least 1 year ahead, or sometime maybe 2 years.
Now I have another question here. So, why is it easy to do well in math at school, but it can be very difficult to do well in math competition? So I'd like Jonathan to actually field this one as well.
Yeah, so we have a really good question that talks about you're doing well in school, you're doing well with the curriculum, but for some reason, the contest, you just aren't seeing the same results. And that is actually why we have a separation at LinkedKey between curriculum and contest. The reason why is because the skills required for contest math are the same skills that are required for curriculum, but even more. So you are expected in a contest setting to take all of the knowledge and apply it in different contexts. That, by definition, is a lot harder to do, which is why we offer curriculum and contest courses. So when it comes to the curriculum courses we offer at LinkedKey, if you want to solidify your foundation or try reaching ahead, curriculum is the one for you. If you feel like you're doing well at curriculum, or you want to continue with curriculum, you also have the possibility of doing contest math, especially if your goal is to compete in math contests. I would strongly recommend contest math because in contest math, what you do is you go over all of the thought processes that are required to answer these high-level questions. So in curriculum, a lot of it is focused on the material. In contest, you also should know the material, but a lot of it is taking all that knowledge and applying it in different contexts. So curriculum and contest have different purposes, and it just depends what your child's goal is and where the strengths and weaknesses are. And then we can kind of help determine whether they should be pursuing curriculum, contest, or both.
Tony, is there anything you would like to add?
Nothing.
Okay, so the next question, how do you start learning the AP program in grade 8 going to grade 9? Is it necessary to learn from the summer going to grade 9? So again, I would say in Ontario, AP courses are only offered in grade 12, and pre-AP preparation courses are offered in grade 11, and this is what they do in schools. So again, we've been to schools before where they have this system set up. I would say you don't need to approach AP at that early of an age. Certainly, if you feel that your students will be able to handle the additional course load, they are more than welcome to try out for our courses. But I will say it is a very difficult course that I would recommend for grade 11 and grade 12. Yes.
Well, there real quick, there are AP courses or AP exams that they have a prerequisite. For example, if you want to take AP calculus, you have to do advanced function first, right? If you want to do AP chemistry, you will have to do a grade 11 chemistry, grade 10 science first, right? Those we call pre-calculus. For grade 9 students, if you want to do AP calculus, it's pretty challenging. However, there are some AP courses that do not have prerequisite. And we have many grade 9 students who take AP exams in grade 9 for those courses do not have a prerequisite. For example, like AP economics, right? Macroeconomics, or maybe history course, or maybe psychology course, right? Those courses can be considered by grade 9 students.
Now, I have another question about whether the IBSL course at LinkedKey will help a student prepare for chemistry. So what I would recommend is if you feel that your child does not need the chemistry, does not need this for the future, for university, I would actually recommend just doing one-on-one individual sessions. That would be much easier because we can adjust the curriculum and the content based on your child. I'm starting my IBSL and Chemistry 11 course tomorrow at Mississauga, and I can tell everybody here that my first package tomorrow is 10 pages and all of chapter 1. So it can move very quickly. And when we have a class of 5, 6, 7 students, sometimes it can be difficult to make sure that everybody is on the same page. And so again, I would recommend individual courses when you can, because an individual one-on-one session allows the teacher to move quicker or slower depending on what your child needs. It makes sure that we can prepare your child as they come up to the tests and to the exams. And it makes sure that if your child is struggling with content or with assignments at school, we are there and we are able to make sure that they are well prepared. Again, I would certainly recommend you can try out the course as well, but my strong recommendation is individual courses. I have another question here as well. So in one of the slides, it is mentioned that biology is taught at IB, HL, and AP levels. So I believe that is this, which slide was it? It was before. And the question is that correct? So yes, we have 11 and 12 biology, and we will also integrate it with IB and AP biology. Now, I know it was a little bit confusing because biology wasn't on this particular slide, but rest assured, we do offer the IBSL and the AP biology as well. Again, it follows the chemistry pathway. So the same thing that everybody sees here, where we continue to build upon curriculum, we will do so for biology as well. So it will look like this, but simply for another course. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in chat, but at this moment, we don't have any other questions.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for Jonathan, Chris, and Connie, obviously online. So did you take this one? Okay. So那我回到中文再说一下，就是我们今天的 seminar 大概就我们可以差不多 wrap up 然后大家如果有问题你们可以通过很多方法来联系我们微信、电话、email 都可以然后我们的北约克校区，我们的 Mississauga 校区，大家可以来到校区来跟我们咨询这些问题。那明天下午呢，我跟大家预告一下，我们明天下午在北约克社区，在Banbury Community Center， 下午3点半到晚上7点，我们有一个新春游园会。那个游园会上，我和我们的潘老师，我们2位都是 这个美国大学申请的辅导老师哈，就是规划辅导老师。所以大家如果对升学有任何问题，明天可以到这个 Community Center 这个地方来，参加我们的园游会，我们有很多很好玩的节目啊。那你也可以跟我跟潘老师聊天聊，也可以咨询任何关于升学的问题，好吗？如果大家不知道那个场地在哪里，你可以联系我们的小助手，他会把那个场地的信息交给你，好吗？发给你。明天下午3点半到晚上7点，就在 York Mills 和 Bayview 大概那个附近啊，就是那个 York Mills 那个社区有一个社区中心叫 Banbury 大家可以到那个社区中心去，好吗？我可以把这个社区中心的名字帮大家敲一下 Banbury Community Center。So Saturday, February the 1st from 3:30 to 7 p.m. Okay, 那everything is good?
Yeah,
That's it?
so the email, we're going to use info.
Yeah, so I'll type up the email. So contact us at info@linkkey.com first. And if you have a personalized message to either Chris or Jonathan, we'll forward the message to you. OK，那好，那如果没有其他问题，Connie，然后我们线上好像我们的数学组的王老师、丽丽老师也在线，包括 Cedric 老师，你们还有什么要补充的吗？
没有了。
我也没有了。
哎，校长，我也有几句要说，
好，
能听见
你请说，丽丽老师。
哎，我是想让那个在座的家长们，我特别推荐一下我们几位年轻的数学老师。我简单的再说一下哈，他们都在公校任职，不仅具备扎实的专业知识，还熟悉 Day School 的教学体系、课程要求和评估标准。大家可以在刚才的讲座中看得出。他们对这个教学充满专注和热情而且呢，上课的时候能够很精准的把握学生的学习需求，课堂氛围非常活泼、互动、高效，非常受学生们的喜爱、好评，甚至追捧。所以家长们还有在座的学生们，希望尽早加入他们的课堂，把握宝贵的学习机会。在数学兴趣和成绩上呢，都可以有很大的突破。好，我说的就是这一点。
好，谢谢王老师，我非常同意，就是我们这两位老师张德森、Chris，我经常被他们的这种热情感染然后他们的课堂的特点，除了专业知识之外，我觉得是乐趣，是能够激发我们孩子们学习的这种兴趣所以大家可以来体验一下他们的课堂体验一下他们的整个的这种教学的热情，好吗？那好，那我看我们线上没有问题了，我们就线上部分就到这里，好吧？然后大家有问题可以通过各种方式联系我们，明天下午3点半到晚上7点Banbury Community Center，你可以来，我会在那里，我们很多 LinkedKey 的老师都会在那里，我们的潘老师也会在那里大家有关于升学规划等等这些问题，不管是美国大学、加拿大大学，你可以来找我们咨询来聊天，好不好？那我们就今天晚上线上部分到这里，谢谢大家，大家周末愉快，晚安，拜拜。